Snow chains are required for anything up further. And the trailhead I was going to hit today, it's about another 8 miles up ahead. Check out this fresh ass hat my mom sent me from my good friend's tattoo shop. Sacred Black Ink in Palm Desert, California. Go check them out. But we're not going to mess that up today. How about them Chargers? Big win on Monday Night Football over the Eagles in LA. Shout out to all my Chargers fans. As always, first things first, got to send a check-in message to all the loved ones on the Garmin GPS. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to High Desert Adventures. I'm Matt, and I do everything hiking, camping, backpacking, fishing, everything outdoors. Today, we are back in the South Hills, back here in beautiful Sawtooth National Forest. And this is a part of the Sawtooth National Forest that us Southern Idaho locals call the South Hills, which is one of my favorite areas. I've done several hikes here. I got a whole playlist of hiking videos you can check out right up here called Hiking in the 208. And this is probably my 4th or 5th hike out here, but this is my first real wintertime hike. So today, episode 5 of Escaping the Weekly Grind. Today, the theme for the video is breaking out of my comfort zone. So last week, as you saw in the intro, I came out here to do the Eagle Trail Loop, which is about 2.5 miles, only a few hundred feet of elevation gain, nothing crazy. But Mother Nature did not permit me to break out of my comfort zone and hike through that snow. Plus a storm came in towards the trailhead before I even made it up there, and the visibility was really bad, so I had to trust my gut instinct and turn around and head back to Twin and try to salvage the day by doing a local hike for you guys. Hopefully everybody's watched that video and enjoyed it. You could always pause this video and go back to my playlist of Hiking in the 208 or Escaping the Weekly Grind, and you could watch all the videos in series so that they all make sense. Now, with that being said, breaking out of my comfort zone. So this is only my 2nd winter time in my entire life, let alone here in Idaho. And I'm still getting used to the snow, still getting used to these different conditions and how to continue my outdoor adventures through this wintertime season. So this week, the intention of the video is to complete the Eagle Trail Loop like I was saying. I brought some snowshoes, some trekking poles. I brought some Yak Trax Traction Plus, Pro Plus, little slip-on, cramp-on things for the shoes in case it's compacted icy snow. But it looks like it's definitely going to be snowshoe type environment. The trailhead's actually a half a mile up the road that way, but this is the only place that I could safely park, which is right here next to the ski lodge and the work center. So we got a half a mile walk up the road, and then we're gonna slip on the snowshoes and start the trail, God willing. Pretty trippy looking out here. Hopefully I'm all right leaving my truck right here. It's on a little turnout at the entrance to the ski lodge, which is right over here. You can see one of the ski lifts that's not in use right now. Pretty much nobody else out here, only one truck has passed me. But I'm in a turnout, so I'm not in the way of the road. Plenty of room for people to drive by if they do, but I guess we're just gonna start this half mile hike up the road and slip those snowshoes on and test it out. So as always, how is everybody doing? How has your work week been? How has your week been in general? Are you escaping the weekly grind today? Did you escape the weekly grind somehow this week? Let me know down in the comments. Got to keep an eye out for cars coming up the road behind me too. And another point for today's video, a lot of the stuff I have on head to toe, gear and accessories, is stuff that I purchased on Amazon that I will be testing out. And before I leave any links down below or recommend anything, I want to put it through the paces today so I can give you guys an accurate description and put links to products that I really trust. Now, the whole reason I brought snowshoes and invested in them was, like I said last week, I didn't get to do the hike I wanted to do. And if I want to stay active through this winter season and keep exploring new areas all through Idaho, I gotta break out of my comfort zone. Gotta start getting out in the snow and test out these snowshoes and test myself and prepare myself. So with that being said, I have a really awesome adventure lined up for January. It is going to be one for the record books. Don't want to give away too much yet, but definitely subscribe and stay tuned for that, because sometime in January I'm going to put out an epic banger of an adventure. It's a little chilly, a little breezy. It is 47 degrees. We do not have any snowfall or storm in the forecast for today, which is great. All Trails said that it was going to be 6 inches of snow, which, as always, All Trails was wrong. It's a lot more than 6 inches, but that allows us to test our snowshoes. Damn, this shit is all uphill, but it looks crazy out here. So that up there is Pike Mountain. That's where I did Escaping the Weekly Grind episode 2. And that's also where I filmed one of my other videos where I saw the deer. Freaking blabbermouth. And this is why I could not park in the campground at the entrance of the trailhead. All right, we got our snowshoes on. Gonna go up through the campground, start along that way through the forest. So like I said, this is a first for me, snowshoeing and really deep snow hiking. And this is not too crazy of a trail or too crazy of an adventure today. And as always, I do tons of research and tons of planning and preparing for these kind of hikes. So I feel good, but this is definitely outside of my comfort zones. Feel a little goofy walking in these, but so far they're working. I mean, I was post holing all the way down to my knee when I first stepped over the side of the road there. So these are definitely working so far. Any other snowshoers out there, drop a comment down below. Any pointers, advice, any cool experiences, let me know. This is a dope campsite though. This would be cool to come back to in early fall. All right, we're on the Eagle Trail. Heading up this way. This actually is not too hard to hike through with these snowshoes. Got them for 89 bucks on Amazon, and they did come with trekking poles, which I was gonna bust out right now, but I forgot. I don't feel like taking my backpack back off just yet, so if it gets to a point where I need my trekking pole, I'll stop and grab that and use that. But yeah, the set was 90 bucks, 25 inches, up to 200 pounds weight. Came with 2 trekking poles, and we're gonna put them through the paces today. I also got on some thermal base layers I got on Amazon. The set was 25 bucks compared to paying like 25 bucks per top and bottom at your local outdoorsman's warehouse. And I'm testing out some new hiking pants too. Thermal fleece line on the inside, waterproof on the outside. And I didn't wear the base layers on the bottom from Amazon because I wanted to test out these pants, and I figure this is a more accurate test. I also got some wool socks I got on Amazon. And once I test them out, get an accurate description of them, I'll make a video reviewing everything, and I'll link those down below. I'm out of breath already. Good thing it's only 2.5 miles, huh? But this is crazy as hell. Check this out. And as always, I do have all of my emergency supplies. You saw in the beginning, I got my Garmin GPS tracking enabled, checking messages sent. I have some emergency snacks and all kinds of emergency supplies just in case, God forbid, anything ever happened. But like I always say, it's better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it. Backpack weight today is about 25 pounds, so nothing too bad, but a decent amount of weight. But yeah, let's keep it pushing. This is crazy, yo. This is definitely breaking out of my comfort zone, but I feel like that's a theme with my videos now. All this progression, all this learning. whether it's self-improvement or outdoors experience. And this is just a perfect fitting theme for this week. Testing myself, breaking out of my comfort zone, and really pushing myself, and also learning and being smart about wintertime excursions. Keeping my eyes peeled for any moose and any cats too. But this area, the South Hills of the Sawtooth National Forest, is one of the most dense populations of moose in the lower 48. Obviously Montana, Wyoming, Colorado, all those places, they got their share of moose too, but as far as population density per square mileage, this is one of the heavier moose populations, and pretty much seen one 3 or 4 out of the 5 times I've come down here. So trying to keep my eyes peeled. It is winter time, so I'm hoping most of these guys are tucked away, but still got to be on alert. See the glasses starting to fog up. Sun's not out, so there's no need for sunglasses or anything. But man, this is beautiful. A little creepy, a little trippy. Definitely out of the comfort zone. But having pretty good success in these snowshoes so far. I don't see these snowmobile trails yet, and the ski lodges up here are not open yet. I'm prepping myself, I'm training myself. Got that big excursion next month. It's going to be best of both worlds, backpacking and camping. I'm freaking stoked for it. And then got to be ready for summertime when those big backpacking trips come, like the Alice Toxaway Loop and the Sawtooth in central Idaho, Tetons in Wyoming. I got some big goals, big plans for 2026. But since we're on the topic, next week there will not be a video. I got somebody special coming up to see me next week, and there will not be any filming, just straight enjoying each other's company. But the following week I think is when I'll do my snow gear on Amazon review video, and then a couple weeks after that it's going to be the big one. So subscribe, stay tuned, keep an eye out for these videos. Every video is getting better, and I'm trying to make better content for you guys, enjoy more adventures for myself, and just keep the ball rolling. All right, enough blabbing, let's go. It's really not too hard to balance on these. The trail conditions on all trails said 6 inches of snow, but I'm guessing more like between 10 to 14 probably. This is just so freaking dope. Man, this half a mile in snowshoes feels like a lot more. Feels a lot more like at least a mile or so, but it's only been a half a mile. Maybe 2.5 is a lot in snowshoes. We'll see. Had to bust out the trekking poles, or at least one of them. Help keep that balance good. Definitely feels like it's gonna help. I think it's aluminum telescoping, 2 different telescoping adjustment rings. Let's give it a shot. This is a lot harder than it looks, which I always expect going into certain adventures like this. New adventures, or adventures where I try to escape the comfort zone of what I'm used to. It's never as easy as it looks online. It's never as easy as you think it's going to be. Until you get out here and experience it, you never really know. I am glad I invested in the right clothing and gear, and so far these trekking poles and these snowshoes are hitting. Definitely wouldn't have been able to even get close to getting on the trailhead without them. And it's fun. They're actually pretty easy to balance on. They definitely keep me upright and keep me up above the snow. I'd be post holing like crazy right now if I didn't have them on. So far these pants are nice and warm. The waterproof aspect is working. The inside fleece lined thermal aspect is working. My shoes are Merrell Speed Strike 2 mids. I got them at Cabela's. They have been awesome. I love them. They're comfy, they're durable, they're waterproof. As far as in the snow like this, might need an actual real like wintertime mountaineer style hiking boot if I'm going to do this kind of stuff. But I do have those merino wool socks on, and they're keeping me warm, keep me dry for the most part, but I can feel a little bit of the cold and a little bit of the wet snow seeking into my shoes. But we're almost at the pine forest, which is basically the halfway point. Got a little bit of incline up ahead. Worst case scenario, if I'm too tired or if this is too much, I'll just get to the pine forest, turn back around, come back down this way. Whole point of today's video was to break out of my comfort zone, test myself and prepare for the upcoming season and the upcoming adventures, and test out this gear on Amazon so I can give you guys an accurate description and accurate review. And once I do, I'll have all the links down below for an Amazon affiliate link, which, as you know, if you purchase those items through my links, I get a small commission, which the whole intention of that is to help grow this channel and build this channel and give you even more honest reviews on Amazon products and other hiking products, backpacking products, wintertime gear, all that. And to keep making fun adventures and fun videos and get better at this and share it with everyone, to motivate everyone to get out and do this kind of stuff. I was born and raised in Southern California. I lived there for my entire life, never experienced the snow, winter time ever in my life. I moved to Hawaii in my 30s, my early 30s, and I was used to that beach life, that island life. Never experienced snow out there, obviously. Never went up to Mauna Kea in the snow. And last year, living in Idaho was my first winter time ever. And I basically just stayed inside the entire winter. I was uncomfortable, it was brutal. And if you watch previous videos, you know I was kind of afraid that winter time was gonna be the end of my outdoor season. I've learned a lot, I've grown a lot, I've prepared a lot and researched a lot. I'm proud as hell of myself. I'm happy for this life I live. I'm blessed. I thank God every day for my family and the life I live and where I live. And I'm gonna keep pushing it and always keep it safe and always trust your gut. But I'm gonna keep pushing it, keep testing myself, keep going on these adventures, and keep trying to share the most beautiful experience with everybody out there. Oh, I'm out of breath already. But my water's not freezing. It's not that cold yet. It's probably only in the 40s, which for this time of year is not bad. So with all that being said, let's proceed up this little hill. They do have trail markings. I don't know if you can see that right up there on the tree. They do have designated trail markings. So that's always good. Definitely something to be alerted about. Could be just horse tracks, but I think that's moose tracks. There's a lot of them up and down the trail right here, so definitely gonna keep my head on a swivel, be on alert, and just be ready for any situation. Most importantly, I don't see any cat prints. That's what terrifies me. Moose do too, obviously, but not that you should ever trust being close to any moose, but the moose in the South Hills see a ton of people year round, and as long as you're smart about it, you don't have to worry about them charging too often. I don't know, I'm just talking like I know everything. That shit still scares the hell out of me. That looks like a moose track to me. Could be cattle, could be horse, can't really tell because of the snow, but it looks like a moose track. So head on a swivel, keep it pushing, eyes peeled, and be smart. The size of that print. I don't know if you can tell by the picture, but that looks like a large print with toe imprints. That is a little terrifying, not gonna lie. I'll give you another look, see if you can see. See down in the center, right there. See if you can see those toe imprints. Oh yeah, there's some huge freaking imprints right here. Like, look at the size of that one. Movement being restricted in snowshoes makes it even more sketchy. So that's definitely going to factor into me completing the 2.5 mile loop or not. That's always my goal every single time I do a trail, is to complete the trail loop for this sense of accomplishment. But safety is always going to come first. I do have all these emergency supplies and emergency GPS and all this stuff, but I'm out here by myself. I'm a couple miles away from my truck. Luckily, I'm right next to the road, which is probably a quarter mile right over there. But seeing several different large animal tracks on a trail is pretty damn scary, whether it's a quarter mile from the road or not. Luckily, I'm out here recording and stepping in the shoes, making tons of noise, hopefully to scare off any animal. But that factors in. Damn, there are some huge tracks. Whew. As far as I know, there's never been any reported bear sightings or bears in the area of the South Hills. Just lots of moose and cats, coyotes and such. Definitely getting in my head now. I think we've officially broken out of the comfort zone.
You know, despite seeing all those animal tracks and letting it get in my head, you could tell by the look on my face I was still having a great time and still really happy to be out there. Getting into the outdoors and escaping the weekly grind and testing myself is just my favorite way to find peace and decompress.
There are so many tracks. Oh, this is dope. Sick. See if the camera can get this view. See the other hills off in the background. Sun's barely poking through the clouds right there. We're getting up in a little bit in elevation. This is crazy. Sometimes I trip out and I go on these adventures and just, wow. Can't believe I'm doing this. Can't believe I'm here. This is awesome. Very blessed, y'all. I don't know if the GoPro is gonna pick it up. But off in the distance there. I'm gonna pull out the phone and get a little phone video real quick. Oh, this is so stunning, so freaking beautiful, and so crazy looking. Like I am really out here. I am really doing this. I am really blessed to be able to do this. And I'm also pushing myself out of my comfort zone. Learning and growing every time. This is just insane though. This is nothing like I've ever done before. And this is just an ultimate learning experience. Snow's getting deeper, but it's getting a little more compacted. So you gotta kind of adjust your steps in these snowshoes. Adjust accordingly. I think we're about getting to the top of the incline section. Holy shit. Clouds are moving in and they're moving in quick, so there was no rain in the forecast for today, but feeling like I gotta start putting some pep in my step and really pushing it through this shit. Branch is trying to grab my trekking pole.
At this point, I was pretty much at a loss for words, not only because of the scenery, but because I was damn freaking tired. It's amazing how you get to a certain point in the trail and you just really start to feel like, should I have done this? Should I have really proceeded the entire loop? Like at this point, it just starts to really all settle in.
Still pushing, almost 2 miles in, showing up about a half a mile to 3/4 of a mile, maybe a little bit longer to go. It's getting a little hard to see the trail, but I'm still paying attention for the designated trail markings, and I know exactly where I'm at. So, just gonna keep it pushing, one foot in front of the other. Getting back into the forest. Definitely a little creepy. But I'm keeping my damn eyes peeled. Snow's getting deep back here. That's why you should always do additional research and not just rely on an app like All Trails. Sometimes the maps can be outdated, and sometimes conditions can be worse than expected. Talk to locals, go on discussion groups, whatever you gotta do. Do your research. Interesting. And there's another trail marking. One up ahead, so we know we are on the right track. And holy shit, there's some big prints out here. Oh shit, some of these tracks are literally going 1.5 feet deep or more. This is so amazing. I've always prayed before these adventures and asked God to bless me with a safe, beautiful, but challenging adventure. Something that I'll enjoy, something that will help me find peace and decompress, something I could make a great video of. And I think so far, that's all exactly how today went. Oh, thank you, God. Oh man, this is amazing. We broke all the way out the comfort zone today. Almost done. Let's finish this last little push. Look at the size of that print. Damn. I'm convinced that's not even moose anymore. I'm starting to become a believer in Bigfoot. Maybe he was down here in the South Hills of Idaho the whole time. David, Brody, if you're watching, all those deep late night debates we had about Bigfoot, you win, bro. I found him, Brody. He's in the South Hills down here. Hey, don't worry, Brody. You know I keep that thing on me. Some deep ass snow. This shit trippy as hell. This is hard as hell. Totally worth it. Definitely hard. Definitely earned this one. Got exactly what I wished for though. Almost there. My first ever deep snow hike. My first ever snowshoeing. I know I'm so close to the finish too, and then I got a half-mile walk down the road to get to my truck. Let's finish this off. Let's finish off strong. Dig deep, fight through the burn, and finish this loop and get out of these damn Bigfoot, moose, and mountain lion infested mountains, and go have a warm cup of coffee And I think today I'm getting steak or sushi. I think I earned that shit. Let's go. There is something huge trekking through this forest. Aside from me, that is. Almost there. I think we're back at the campground. Oh yeah. There it is, right up ahead. That's where I entered, and that is where I'll exit. Oh God, and I did it. This is where I entered. This is where I exit. Woo! 3 miles. Only like 500 feet of elevation gain, but first time ever snowshoeing solo at that. 3 miles through the forest in the south hills of the Sawtooth National Forest. Trail littered with snow, moose tracks, probably cat prints too. Some f***ing Bigfoot tracks. Oh, what a rewarding experience. This is not faked or falsified or acted out at all. This is just a guy chasing the adventure, escaping the weekly grind, breaking out of his comfort zone, testing himself, doing research, preparing, and putting himself to the test. Oh yeah! God, if you guys could feel what I'm feeling right now. Gotta go down this way and half a mile back down to the truck. Oh, thank you, God. Thank you, Jesus. Oh, and thank you, everybody. My mom, my dad, my brothers, all my brothers from other mothers and sisters from other mistas. Everybody. Oh, this is happiness tears if it's coming out. Everybody that supports me, everybody that has followed me and supported me, everybody in my daily life. Oh, next week I get to spend some time with a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful person, a beautiful woman. Can't wait to see you. And a couple weeks after that, I'm gonna really put myself to the test. Oh, here comes the car right here. They're probably thinking, what a freaking madman. Let's get back to the truck. Let's have a protein bar. Let's get home and have some coffee and edit the shit out of this footage. I love y'all. Thank you all so much for watching. Stay tuned. Please subscribe, like, comment, and share. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's keep this going. Woo! See you all in the next adventure.
This was definitely one for the record books for me. Not only did I have a great time and push myself to a new experience and prepare myself for the future, but I accomplished exactly what I set out to do, and that was to break out of my comfort zone. You know, it's like a poem I read in one of the books by Joseph Wynn, and it says, live your life like watching a movie where you're not stressed out trying to figure it all out, but enjoying the experience of what's happening in front of you right now, no matter what happens in it. I'd like to thank you all again for all the support and love. Love you all and see you on the next one.